Hello, beloved friends. I'm Reverend Kira, and it is an honor to be with you in talking about Christ consciousness qualities. Try to say that 3 times fast. Christ consciousness qualities, Christ consciousness qualities, Christ consciousness qualities. What are those, and why are we talking about that? Because this is a time where we're being called out and up and into a higher expression of ourselves, of being so clear in our own being that we become a presence for the light of truth, for the Christ awareness within us. And to do that, we need to understand what is it that made Christ that spectacular consciousness and presence upon this world. Not just Jesus, but the Christ consciousness that he took on and lived and demonstrated. Where does that live inside of us? And what are those qualities that we're living into and opening up to and rising to consciously choose to express in our lives and in our world? We're going to talk about that this Sunday, but I want you to be thinking in the meantime, where is that Christ awareness, and what are those qualities that bring that expression into the world through me? How is it I notice and I think that person is living from a level of Christ consciousness? This is something we talk about that crosses all religions and traditions, whether you call it Christ consciousness or you might call it Buddha consciousness, or you could call it divine awareness, oneness. In every tradition where we open to that Christ consciousness, that Christ awareness, there are consistent qualities that would represent an individual actually living and embodying those principles, rather than speaking to it something we expect others to do out there, but we haven't actually engaged fully. Now, we certainly know it gets demonstrated with things like loving kindness, and yet there's so much more depth and richness. How do you reconcile that with turning the tables in the temple? Where are those places that the Christ consciousness is operating at a much higher awareness that may look different than we might think? And what is that in us? And how do we live according to that higher calling in our own being? And get very clear and choose those experiences, those qualities, or surrender the things that are in the way of those qualities naturally coming through. And so we're going to talk more about this on Sunday. I do hope you'll join us at Unity Bay Area Houston live stream. We'll be live streaming again, and that's happening at 10:30 a.m. You can find us at our Facebook page, Unity Bay Area Houston, or on Unity Bay Area Houston YouTube. And either of those, you can get our live stream. We'd love to have you there with us in person. Comment and share your energy. And if you can't, come join us at another time, because we know in the level of that Christ awareness that there is no time differential between us. There's no space between us. So we'll get to look at that and how that, in fact, also reflects part of the Christ consciousness qualities that we are going to be looking at within ourselves and learning to honor and express and notice in others as well. Because as we experience those in ourselves, we cannot help but see them naturally in others. We experience one another as the Christ. We do the namaste, the Christ in me beholds the Christ in you. Or you may say the light in me beholds the light in you. But either way, what we understand is there is an ability to tap into that stream of consciousness and the qualities that exist at that higher level, that transcendent experience that is in the world but not of the world. And we're all hungry for that right now. How do we get ourselves out of this in the world experience and instead live from those higher levels of consciousness? Well, I look forward to sharing that with you this Sunday. I know who you are and what you are and how you are being that is transforming the world. And I am grateful for each one of you and hope you'll join us to bring that energy into joy and celebration this Sunday. God bless you. Have a fabulous, fabulous week.